Hi YouTube, how you doing? I'm doing okay. It is such a beautiful day out. It's oh, it's probably about close to 60. Tomorrow it is going to be about 60. It's just so nice out. I was outside feeding and watering those cats and spending some time outside. I didn't even need a jacket on. I mean, if it was like 60 degrees in my house, I'd be freezing, but it's psychological. You go outside when it was a couple weeks ago, it was snowing. So now, like, I go out and I typically freeze, but the sunshine, it's just incredible today. So, yeah. I had to laugh this morning. I saw a little video on Facebook called the Rhino Game, and it was like two couples, looks like two husbands, two wives, to each other, one of each gender, that type of reality that I live in. But anyway, so the women had their hands behind their backs, and the men took their legs, and there was like balloons by a mat, and about 12 feet away in back of them was a bucket, and the balloons were about this big around, and the guys had to take their ladies' legs and shove them across the floor so they could grab this balloon with their mouth and then shove them back over to the bucket so they could put that balloon in the bucket. They had me laughing. I don't know if Doug thought it was funny because he's never really liked games or sports or anything like that. I mean, he used to play like cribbage or something like that, but nothing like super athletic. Right now, he's getting his athletic exercise. He's out cutting wood. So, yeah, he's getting exercise. I mean, shoot, in the last couple months, I mean, after he had just about, he didn't have a heart attack, but he dang near did. And then he broke his ankle, and then he fell off a ladder and almost broke his back. So, like, he was incapacitated, and then he used to drink, and that put extra weight on him. But now you can see, like, his abs again. Um, Actually, he's been almost working harder now than he did when I met him when he was 40, you know. So, yeah, it's yeah, we've had so much stuff to do around here. He really doesn't have a choice. I mean, well, he does. He doesn't have to, but yeah. So, yeah. But then people had me cracking up, so I did share it on my Facebook. If you're interested, it's over there. I found it humorous, and I would do it. I don't know if anybody can push me around, but yeah. Well, yeah, they can. I've actually been picked up and thrown into a wall, so yeah, I can be pushed around. Just hope that I don't get back up, So if you do something like that to me, you better hope I don't get back up. Because I was watching a Robin's Hood, and he had shared something off of Israel News Live where Stephen Ben Danoon over there was trying to reach a man who practices Judaism. I do not know if he's a rabbi. I have no clue. But this rabbi is making a point to open up what is the Christian Bible and point out the differences of his Jewish Bible. And he was quoting um, the most famous psalm, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," our Christian words, "I shall not want," indicating that because of God, we're in need of nothing. And it's kind of a humble thing. It's a prayer of thanks to our Father. The Jewish writings say, and I lack nothing. That's a little arrogant. I mean, if you look up the word between want and lack, you'll see what I mean. Um, it's a very arrogant way of talking to God, I think, personally. That's my own personal belief. And I lack nothing. We all lack things, you know, but, you know, and, you know, we want things, but what we really need, we always get what we need one way or another. If you think about it, if you're out of money or out of food or you need something, one way or another, sooner or later, that's going to come through for you. Um, that's where you want nothing, because you'll be, if you have faith that you'll be taken care of. But to say I lack nothing, there's a lot of things I lack, you know. I don't know, I just see it as very arrogant. And I also see it arrogant to, why even open up a Christian Bible? And then he tells, if you're a Christian and you're watching me, you don't need to be here. And then he's talking about this scripture. This is going to get hot, really hot. What kind of language is that? You know, it's just weird. I've seen him before. He looks like a bug-eyed monster to me. Maybe he wouldn't look so much like a Dracula if his language changed, but it just seems it's just too much. I don't, you know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to talk directly to him or waste my time. I've tried to talk to Rabbi in the past. I've tried to make them aware that there are Noahide laws that they want to implement. And that is really going on behind the scenes, the way they do treat human beings that aren't of their culture, like lesser than, and lesser than a dog. You're not even as good as an animal. That's what their writings teach them, you know? So I'm not going to waste my time, because I've tried to appeal to these people, um, and it just doesn't get me anywhere. It's like, would you like to explain why you believe in the Noahide laws? Just explain that part, and then go back in your own scriptures where it says that all of us are that part of God, no matter how small. And we're all of that. Nobody's better or worse in the eyes of God like that. And they will not back down. They refuse. They just love their arrogance, and it's repulsive. So, and you know, the thing is, this is my plight, is making sure people know that just because you believe in a God that you cannot see, our Father, our Creator, doesn't mean that He's not real. And that is what they're trying to implement, you know? They're trying to make it seem like, okay, so all these scriptures were so messed up that now God isn't real because of these writings that we proved were false, you know? And the ones that are true, like if you lead even one little one away from God, it's better to have a millstone tied around your neck and be thrown into the sea. And if you're one of the people that have led my children astray, I can personally speak from personal experience that I would not mind throwing the people that did them things to my children into the sea. You know, I might throw them in there with a life preserver, but they'd be in the sea if I had my way. So I wouldn't throw them with a millstone. I would give them a life. I'd give them a swimming chance in the middle of the cold Atlantic, something like that. You know, take them up like to around the Bering Strait and let them go in between America and Russia. All that, like drop them off by Greenland or something. You know. So yeah. So why do these rabbi bother opening up a Christian Bible unless that's their intent? Why not leave people with their religion alone? If you're not a satanic minded or hearted person, what do you care what anybody else believes? You know? Or if they're not, why would we care? If they're such men of renown and such godly men, when any religion that speaks of God be better than none at all? You know? If a person believes in God, no words are going to make you believe or disbelieve. You know, you either believe it or you don't, you know. So, anyway, I don't watch. I mean, if I see something that somebody else is showing, um, I'll talk about it. And I ran across him a long time ago, and that just was not worth my time. I could see there was absolutely no reaching. Some people you just know, that there's just no reaching them no matter what you try and say or do. And so it would be a waste of my time to even comment. And I don't know why a Christian would even take their time and comment on something that it's like these rabbi that are talking about like what's going on over in Palestine or Israel or whatever. Trying to what? What's the good of it all? When none of us can really do anything about it anyway. And to debate who is right or wrong over a piece of land and almost trying to involve the whole world in this thing. It's just crazy. It's like I was listening to Hamish from High Frequency Tribe, and he was talking about with his Instagram, he had started seeing like so many disembodied babies and that type of thing. He said, can't we just go back to like um, seeing what people ate for dinner, or their selfies or whatever, and yeah, I'd rather see that than a disembodied baby any day. But yeah, that would be overwhelming on a site that he uploads pictures of his property and his family and different things that he's doing. Probably, he's got parents and relatives, or whoever, people that follow him. So to turn something that was a platform of joy for him. So he went in there, I think yesterday, and totally just unsubscribed to the people that were passing around all that gory stuff, because we know it's happening. We know it's horrific. we also know there's nothing we can do about it, you know. So, and the souls that are being extinguished, you know, there's nothing we can do about it, you know. I believe in prayer, but sometimes I don't believe that on a personal level, prayer is going to work. If you're praying for other people, or say, like, if you're praying for somebody to become a Christian and they're just not, it might not work. I mean, it's all a matter of God getting into their hearts. We can ask that to happen, and I believe it's a possibility. I just believe that our own personal prayers are answered um, more readily than a group thing, although I do believe that one or more praying for the same thing will have results. I don't believe that we'll see it immediately. I think that there's a lot of people like us that are in the same frame of mind that don't believe in war and don't believe in any of this that's going on, that do not believe in the one world government or church or digital systems that they want to implement. We don't want anything to do with it. There's some of us that really do not, because we can see the control that they're trying to implement over other people through that, you know. So, anyway, oh yeah. But yeah, back to those rabbi. Why even bother? It's like me. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna bother them, you know? If if they, and it goes to this saying, let them that are evil be evil still. God'll sort it out. And I believe that. That goes right down to my own kids, you know. Um, yeah, it's heartbreaking when we love somebody that they were raised with the Word of God, but they were also raised with a lot of torment and turmoil and targeted, um, intentional things to lead them astray. That's why I really get I really get heated when I see people doing that to other people. That's why I'll say something. It's not self-serving. It's to make other people aware that there's absolutely no reason for these people to be doing that unless there's an agenda behind that. Now, um, back to the part of Christians wanting to be Jewish. No, dear Christian friends, we're trying to teach the Jews of Christ the spirit they're trying to kill within mankind because they love the control they have over the people. And Christ came to set us free. That's what that is all about right there. We're trying to convert them. It isn't the other way around. But sometimes, really, it would be a waste of time. And you can kind of tell, you know. You can say a prayer for somebody and move on, you know. But Stephen Ben Danoon off of Israel Live is trying to reach Tovia with scripture and language, because Tovia is like, if you don't understand the symbols and you don't speak Hebrew, yes, we speak it just as fluently as you do when we have the English Hebrew translation right in front of us, moron. You know, it's like I was reading Latin yesterday. I can read German and French and Spanish and, you know. So anyway, Italian, or did I already say that? Yeah. So yeah, it's not too hard when you have if you've studied it, if you have the words right there. But to insult people like, oh, so you're English speaking only, you couldn't conceive what's going on here. Yeah, I did. I understand all too clear. Well, when you're raised by Jews, yeah, you're kind of aware of what's going on. But those are the ones I admire so much, um, of the Jewish heritage, that are telling the truth for the people in the world because they love other people, not see them as slaves or cattle or whatever filthy names that they call you or I, like the great unwashed. Wow, that's nasty. You know, it's about as cruel as it gets. It still makes me wonder who's cleaner in our minds, our hearts, our homes, our habits, a lot of that people would say such a thing because a lot of people aren't aware of, like when you butcher an animal, the Jews will have Jewish people do that, and when they bleed the animal before it's processed to get all the blood out of the vessels and the meat and that type of thing, that a lot of other cultures don't do. But Native Americans have been processing meat and doing it the right way, um, for just as long. And they had to teach the white people how to take care of their health and everything else when they were dying, when they came to this country of mine, so yeah. See some ratty old, I'm just going to say it. If you're English, pardon me. I have English blood in me too, but just, I'm going to say it. Here goes. You see some ratty old, like in the 1800s over in England, and they're throwing their pea pots out the window on top of people out into the streets. And you see some ratty old bag lady, all nasty. I mean, not much has changed on our streets anyway. But then you see the Native Americans with their long flowing hair, and, how'd they get their hair so long and pretty if they're so unwashed? Because they weren't. That's why, you know. But yeah, anyway. But if you saw the difference of what was a Native American city or village in the 1800s compared to what was going on over in Europe, you'd freak out. You'd be like, and these call you unwashed, you know, because that is the bloodline, believe it or not. One of them, the same. Relative, it's all relative. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, not too much going on besides getting some laundry and dishes done, and just a really nice day. Can't complain. Got my exercises in, and I didn't do them yesterday. I felt like my body needed a break, you know. So, it'll tell you when you need a rest. And if you don't, you'll suffer for it if you don't take that rest when you need it, you know. Yeah. I'll have one more cigarette with you. Maybe I'll chat. I don't know what else I have to say. I just wanted to make it clear that there is a big difference in changing one word, like want or lack, you know. And that dude's lacking, trust me. He can say he's not, but he is. Anyway, that janitor that got caught in New Jersey ejaculating and putting feces and bleach and urinating in children's food and rubbing bread on his genitalia, the pornography he was caught with were little boys under the age of 1 who get sexually aroused by a baby. I had somebody put in prison for doing that to my child, and they only served about 9 months. Another person did that to my baby and had done it to another boy too, and got away with it because he was Masonically connected. So I've been through this personally in a lot of ways. Yeah, that's in that anti-goyim handbook that they have, that they can do anything to any of us because we're not of their blood. Doesn't matter what gender, doesn't matter the age, but they can only give you 40 stripes. They can only whip you or beat you 40 times. Is that only 40 smacks in one sitting? Or is that 40 beatings through your life? Or, yeah. And they can read this and actually think they're of God and think that there's some normalcy in all that. That's the part that gets me. It's like you actually think that's normal. And they actually think they're of God. It's mind-boggling. So really, it truly is. But believe me, when you're being talked down to, you're pretty aware of it, you know? Kind of like somebody telling people that they're a Christian apologist. Oh, yeah, right. They twist the books and tell you there is no God. Boy, what a plan. They sure put a lot of work into the deception. Hundreds of years. Think of how many generations have been drugged. They started giving people drugs pre-Egyptian times to control them. So it's really, when it's written nothing new under the sun. Which sun would that be? Yeah. But really nothing has changed. I can look at my whole life. There's been some kind of war or some kind of threat of war. Always. There's never a time where the earth is just chilled, like everybody's just cool, you know? I passed around a meme where it's like, yeah, a Muslim, a Christian, a Jew, and Hindu and whatever all walk into a coffee shop and they get along because they're not assholes. That says it all right there. But I can't get along with somebody that thinks that other human beings are subhuman. To me, that makes them subhuman. They think they're hybrid, and I say they're inbred. Well, mine's the truth. There's nothing high about that. And anybody that would even think about like sleeping with their brother or marrying their brother or fornicating with their relatives to keep it all in the family, like cousins and, like in England, the mangled dynasties of people with impediments because of their practices like that and the diseases and all. Wow, blows my mind. Just like boffing a baby, there's certain things that where a normal person's mind, we don't go there. The brain doesn't even go there, but these people, they jumped in with both feet. It's like their brain goes there, their heart goes there, their body goes there. It's like it's unlimited. you know it's gross. So how much time do you think a man that would want, or maybe has, fornicated with a baby, how much time should this person get in a penitentiary, even for having that? What's just punishment for that? Like I told Doug, okay, so if this type of thing had happened to him too, is that justification? I had some really bad things happen to me. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it to other people. That made me not want to do anything bad to anybody else. So what's the difference in the two personalities that are going on this planet? that's the thing right here, you know. Well, I think that's probably about it for today. I just wanted to speak on the rabbis that are delving into our Christian Bible and pointing out the differences. Thank you. I'm fully aware. Glad I made that decision when I was a child, you know. Just reading that stuff back then. It's like, and there's actually people out here like that? Yeah, they are. And they're in control, unfortunately, at this point. Well, at least it appears like they are. All right, everybody. I appreciate you joining me. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a really beautiful week ahead. I love y'all. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.